What's up, guys? My name's Andy Suarez, and today we're going to be talking about what is the Intel Compute Stick. So the Intel Compute Stick is a new mini computer brought out by Intel. Now this Intel mini computer, dissimilar to the Intel NUC, instead of being a mini PC where you could have your HDMI, VGA, this is more like a Chromecast. It uses the built-in VGA. You can see here on the picture right here. It has a built-in VGA connection. So then you can just put this into a VGA slot either in your TV or monitor and then be able to have output from the computer. So it's very similar to a Chromecast or Amazon Fire TV stick in the sense of it just using a built-in HDMI stick. Now what differs this from those machines is this can be a full-fledged desktop. The Windows version of this stick will start out, it's available right now for $149 and the Linux version for $110. So you can get that, and I like that Intel did the price difference. I really do like that. So this will give incentive to people from buying the Windows version. People will see that the Windows version is $150 compared to the Linux version, which is $110. So the price difference will give people the incentive to buy the Linux version. And I do like that because that will help people get into Linux and make Linux expand in general. And Intel is one of the biggest contributors to Linux in general. And I do understand why Intel would have done this with two different versions of the Intel Compute Stick. So the Intel Compute Stick hardware is pretty decent as well. It comes with 2 gigs of RAM and up to 32 gigs of onboard storage. The dimensions of the device is 4.1 by 1.5 by 0.5 inches. And you can see in the picture it is decently it's a decently tiny device. So when I recommend for computers with low amounts of RAM, so for this a 2 gigabytes of RAM, you could do something called swap. And swap is a software basically, or it's more like a hard drive firmware on Linux that allows you to take. They usually recommend to double what your RAM is. So if you have 2 gigs of RAM, they recommend you to take 4 gigs of swap. So if you take 4 gigs of the onboard storage, this can swap between the RAM and the 4 gigs of storage you set aside. So instead of always using 2 gigs of RAM continuously for the entire remainder of your little device's life, it can switch between. So if you're running Google Chrome or Chromium and it's using a lot of the RAM and then it stops, it really kind of dies down, then the swap will kick in and grab all that memory to free up RAM so it can do other processes. So for devices that have low amounts of RAM, I highly recommend using swap. So what this article mentions, and I'll have this article in the description below, they did some tests on the Windows 8.1 version. So in my personal experience using Linux, I would believe that the performance on Linux would be a lot better with the RAM optimization that you can do with Linux and the ability of Linux being so minimal that you would probably get better performance on the Linux version. But they ran the Windows 8.1 version, so they said they got good handling with web browsing, really good with Microsoft Office, and they did some streaming tests, and it can cope with HD video very nicely. So when I think about a device like this, and especially a mini computer, I don't expect that it's going to be able to run games or anything other than usually the very basic minimum. If you want to get a computer for your grandmother or something like that, this would be an amazing option. And the ability for mini computers to do a wide range of tasks is amazing. You can put this at a point of sale. You can have this behind a screen that you bring around with you, and you'll be able to do a lot of things. And this could be a point of sale machine where it can, instead of having either an Intel NUC, which is about a couple $100 more than this, and you could have this just in the HDMI slot. And a question that just popped in my mind now, I wonder how this would work with adapters. Can you actually adapt this from HDMI to VGA or DVI? So that'd be interesting to see too, because a lot of monitors that I deal with don't really have HDMI, especially the older monitors wouldn't have HDMI, but the newer ones probably would, so you'd be able to do that with a newer monitor. Now, this article also mentions that this is a 32-bit version, so 32-bit, you're not going to be able to run any 64-bit program. So that's not really a big deal, and I wouldn't expect 64-bit from a mini computer as of yet, unless Intel probably would even make a 64-bit version if demand was high enough. So I think if you're looking for a really good mini computer and you're looking for something to either take an HDMI slot in the back of your television, if you're looking for making a home media center, you can probably put Kodi, which was once XBMC. You can run Plex on this. You can run a wide range of softwares that could really help out your productivity, your entertainment. You can really help out your living room by putting one of these in the back of your television because you can stream movies, and very similar to like a Chromecast where you can do different things like that. And the possibilities for a mini computer like this are really truly endless. So that's going to be it for this video. What do you think about the Intel Compute Stick? Would you buy one? And write in the comments below, what do you think you could get your Intel Compute Stick to run? I might pick one up to review on this channel, and I think I probably will eventually when either the price gets cut or I figure out how to buy one. But I'll probably review one on the channel and see how it actually performs and different things like that. So as always, my name's Andrew Suarez, and I'll see you guys in the next video.